How are you doing? Excuse me. We are back, and you're still here. And that's because you know to congregate where value abides. You know that now. There's no getting away from it. There's no translation on that part right now. You know right now you are incredibly valuable. And worth creates its own wisdom when we accept that everything that happened to us was for us. Now, if you've done anything this far, you came through a journey. You walked through the darkness, into the darkness. You found the darkness is not as alone as you think it is. You've been accompanying it for a long time. And you've had the wrong names for just about every aspect of the darkness. Now, the darkness doesn't play a part in your customary life because you are not adjusted to the dark. You're afraid of the dark. You're afraid of what you can't see, because what you can't see, you can't hold. And if you can't hold it, then you cannot infect it, which is one thing that I want to promise you that we all do. If we're not if we're not affecting people in positive ways, creating them to stop, question not what's right and wrong around them, but focus their clear personal purpose on what they are inside, what they are leaving that will cause an evolutionary, futuristic solve somewhere else. Today, write that down. Write that down. What can I solve right now that would continue to solve problems in the future? You've got to make valuable decisions if you want to feel valuable in your life. And sitting around waiting to go outside during the day, trying to decide from too many choices, following other people's avenues, being stuck and clear, viewed in with blinders on the TV, that's what we mentioned before was competition. And when you're in competition, if you can't find the weak spot in them, you will create a weak spot in you, because the weak spot will be your focusing, your attention, and where you focus your attention, your energy goes, and so will your imagination. And you'll never meet one star, you'll never meet one athlete, you'll never meet one doctor, you'll never meet one real estate tycoon that sat around thinking they weren't worth it. They took the shots. They made the gambles. They took the crashes. They fell and got back up. I remember learning to walk. It was incredible. It was incredible. I was still teaching. I was about to teach my 6-year-old now that was 8 months old at the time. I had twins that had just turned 3. I had my leg amputated in the hospital the day, well, of course, in the hospital. I had my leg amputated, and the day after was the twins, Lexi and Warren's birthday. I was there blowing candles out that day. I had an amazing all-star. He was played in the NFL. Patrick O'Neal. He was a kicker. But he went to follow his purpose. Now you see what I'm going on with this. Is he found value in the beginning where even I know you said, because I was more adamant and overwhelmed when I met him to look and read his clips on the wall while I sat in the doctor's office. I went and saw him and picked and talked to him before I had my leg amputated. And I remember reading his football clips. And I remember not thinking about what I was about to lose. I was focused on what he was losing. I couldn't understand it. I was perplexed but in that perplexity, In that moment of clarity where I was being told, it is time for you to decide what quality of life you want. We can straighten your foot out. You will not be able to, we will straighten it. We will freeze it basically, and it would be a club foot, and I would carry, they would fuse my foot. And I would carry that with me, and that would be my club foot for the rest of my life. And I remember Dr. O'Neill looking at me and saying, John, I can make this happen for you. I can make this work for you. Not a problem. It's an easy process. He said, but what I want you to do, I want you to go and talk to some people. And it was Hanger Clinic. And I still teach people to walk with them today. I teach them from 80 years old to 8 years old. I am a mentor with people that don't believe they have the worth to take the next step. But that's a minute. We'll get into that in a minute. So Patrick O'Neill, Dr. O'Neill at the time, he put me in charge with Hanger. I met some amazing men, Kevin Carroll, Dan Strimka. They actually made the prosthetic and the gel liner for Winter the Dolphin. For the movie, the hit. I've met Winter the Dolphin. I worked with Kevin Carroll specifically because I died on the ER table. And through that dying on the ER table, it happened because I had compartment syndrome in my leg. And my leg had swollen, and blood loss, and led to kidney failure and compartment syndrome. And there I was, I died. My heart stopped. My breathing quit. There was no more tomorrows. It didn't matter. I had breathed my last breath. My life was over. You can imagine my wife's look of terror after a 5-day coma when she said I died 5 days prior, and there was doctors there, and I was frozen in time in a tomb. I could no longer move my face. I was paralyzed. I had lost everything we take for granted to this day that I still take for granted now, because I'm up walking and talking and doing the things I could not even do one day in my life. My worth dropped. I had no worth. I had nothing to offer anymore. I couldn't communicate. I couldn't do anything. So Dr. O'Neill sent me over there because he knew that I had to make a quality choice. And I had to make one that was going to be based on worth. It was going to be based on what was my life worth. What was I worth going for? What was I worth getting into? What was I going to do? Because this was me. I was alone. There was nobody. There was nothing. And I had a leg that wouldn't even work anymore. I had scars. I had tissues. I had open wounds on both sides. It was impossible. But he said somehow I could save it. And I'm not going to lie. There was the beginning that I wanted to save it. And I imagined myself, and that's what we all do. And I would tell you, if you went through the tragedy I went through, you would imagine another way. And I did imagine another way. I wanted to think of something different. I wanted to be able to reach everything because I was scared and I was alone. And I didn't think that anyone would see value in me without a leg. And I even got down to if I couldn't turn my foot. I imagined if I was a bad walker, if I was grotesque or something, but at least I would still be able to stand there. I thought the illusion was I would still have part of my body that would be the part of everyone else. I wouldn't be considered different, because if I was considered different, I would be considered unvaluable. Because the world treats things that are different unvaluable. Because that's how we're programmed. We're programmed to voluntarily communicate through imitation. It's proven. It's proven. I can prove this. You want to get on one-on-one counseling and some one-on-one, not counseling. I don't counsel. I don't have that ND. I don't have that. If you want to get in some consulting, some soul consulting, where I open up your eyes, I open up your DNA, I open up you, who you are. I have amazing phone calls where I get on, and the phone calls, they're clarity calls. The clarity calls I have put people, after an hour, they have put them in a state of mind that we went 10 years. We went 10 years evolutionary in 1 hour and moved them out of pockets that they just were branched into adventurous things in their lives. I get amazing blessings out of the calls with people because I get to tap into who they are and I get to feel it and they get to see it and I get to see that transformation. I get to see the tears, the happiness, the promises, the work that's turned into progress instantly on the clarity calls. It's amazing. But when you found, I didn't think I would ever relate with anybody. Could you imagine? I lost my leg. I could not relate, even visually, nothing. When I walk, the sound of my step, the music, the sound that I hear now, it isn't even what you hear anymore. There is a clip, there's this empty sound over here where I no longer feel for the ground. I no longer need to feel for the ground. My feet left the ground. My feet left the ground because I started trusting my journey. I started trusting my path. I started trusting that the value, the worth that had been given to me was through the work I had earned, and the work I had done were the things I was dubbing failures. I was dubbing sacrifices. I was dubbing these terrible things where I thought I could have always had a better notion. I could have always had a better potion. There could have always been a better deal in all that was happening in my life, and mostly what's happening in your life. I'm certain of it. Is you're trying to play cards before they're in your hands. And the process is just creating an incredibly great loser. Someone that's good at losing, good at failing, good at falling. Because I've always said this, and I'll keep telling you to the end. Falling is really flying when you learn to open your eyes and look around and see you have everything in front of you. You are the greatest resource in the world. It's your resourcefulness that creates resources anyway. You don't just go and you're not born knowing where all the departments are to go and get things done, to get your license and your IDs and your state this and your state that and your income tax. You're not known. Those things are told that if you don't get these things done, you'll pay a consequence. You'll pay a fine. You'll be crafted into fear. You find a way to get to that building. You find a way to get that number. They have a phone book. You know how to access those things. That's because you have incentive. But you don't have to find your worth in the fact that you can have incentive. Dr. O'Neill made me understand that I had to search myself. And since that journey, since Hanger, with the journey, that's been amazing, I actually have people around me that are more people that were from pro NFL. And you can find out more about this in a deeper conversation in some of the consultants that we have staffed for trauma translators and that have medical background, that are staff, that do have a background in the sports arena and know some of the greatest people that have given to the progress of man. You can meet them in this package. Those are the people, I'm telling you, it's amazing. The chiropractic care and specialist, if you're working on your amputation, you're working on getting a platform to start to work core resistance, core everything, your body, your health, you're trying to get your stature back. I've done it. I came from a medical bed flat on my back. I couldn't walk. I had no dexterity. I could not remember where I was. I had short-term disability. I couldn't breathe good. My cognitive thinking and therapy was incredible. Learn to talk again. Learn to feed myself 2 peas in a spoon at a time. And I shook and I trembled. I cried. I cursed God. And I didn't know what to do. I made so many deals like you. I made so many deals. I made deals with the devil. I made deals with God. I made deals that were just impossible to reach, but I tried to cunningly con anything I could into the world of existence except being the accountable person that I know you are. The special, amazing person that doesn't want to keep going through these fights in this fog every day of your life. Doesn't want to keep waking up, dreading it, and going to sleep, fearing it. You don't want to do that anymore. Today's the day it's over. Today's the day it changes. Some of the most unique situations I've ever been in is teaching kids from 6 to elderly people up to 60, 80 years old to walk, is that they're worth taking that next step. They're worth taking the next step. Sometimes we don't take that step because we don't find the value inside of us. We don't find that warmth, that love that we've been wanting because we didn't know how to be that person. We wanted to find that person. Well, you can't find a person and culturally create that emotional integrity you want and you're lusting after, you're going to find someone that gets close to the mark, and then you're going to join that emotional roller coaster, and you're going to start to predict things in their life until you make a systematic pattern and you approach them with things. So sooner or later, there'll be things they give into, there'll be things they don't give into, and we all are born manipulators. We all are born to figure out our way through life. The thing is, we don't realize we're systematically implanting patterns on people. Patterns. My mind, I'm a savant. I see patterns. Beautiful mind. I see patterns. I can talk to somebody in a matter of moments, and I know where they're coming from. And it's not because they're telling me the truth. It's because the patterns have exposed them to me so many times. I know when it's real. I know when it's not. I know when we're going somewhere. I know when we're not. I know what you should be saying next, because I can tell your body is telling me the truth. Your eyes, that eye-to-eye reflection, I get it. I see it. I know it. And if you're here, you found that hunger to quit being desperate. You firmly believe that now is the time that I change. Nothing in the world is going to help me but myself. Nothing in the world is going to stand me back up but a good, strong core belief of who I am, and that I deserve that next step. I deserve that next step with all the teamwork that I can muster. And then the loyalty will start laying out the guideline for those people to start filling in the blanks, the proper ones, the right ones, the real ones, the people like you're going to meet in this program. The team of experts that have brought people from zero to hero and never let them falter, because our success is succeeding for you, watching you grow into greatness, watching you become bigger, better. We want you to become the sky. We aim for the sky. We aim to put you above us. You know, if you do anything right today, you lifted somebody, because when you want to rise, you need to lift somebody. Something I can tell you, one thing you need to start doing. If you're fighting with depression, if you're fighting with the things, if you're fighting with all the problems of worth, and that all is worth based. That's why we're in this lesson of worth. If you want to angle up worth, you've gone as far in this program, you need to hit the value up button. You need to hit the button that changes you to a different gear, because I've got another gear, but I can't run every gear in every lesson. But I have phenomenal success with people that have failed, thinking they're depressed, they're bipolar, they're ADD, they're AD, well, all the ADDs. I've been called them since I was a child. Since I was told in the 3rd grade I just could not work. My parents have always heard that just wouldn't work. I move too fast. I move too fast. I don't move too fast. There's nothing wrong with me. I have an incredibly heightened sense of awareness, and I have the core driven faith and know-how to get back up from incredible odds, face outstanding obstacles, and turn myself into the mountain and leave that stuff in the past. I am not climbing mountains today, and you don't have to either. You don't have to do that. A mountain is only the mountain is as big as the excuse you put in front of it. When you excuse your excuses, that mountain becomes completely climbable. It becomes absolutely tameable. It becomes something that's your idea and an exception of fun. It's an exception of quality learning. There's nothing in life slows me down. I've been to the top of Pikes Peak. I've walked around. There will be a picture of things I've done you'll be able to see. I do not stop. I'm going to help ambassador the first hockey league. You do things like that because you know how to get up. And that's why you're in touch with me. That's why you're here. That's why you're ready right now to reach in and find another way, another gear. You want to shift. You want to shift right now. Right now you want to shift. You're saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. This is as far as I can go in this speed. I needed to grab another gear because I want to dig in. I want to get off this surface level. I want to go deeper because I deserve roots. I deserve roots planted in my life. I deserve to be that plant, that nutritious fact every day that I feed passionately, hungrily. You know, most people go to the gym. They hit the gym to find worth in the mirrors. Find worth in how people observe them. That is one of the craziest places to go get critique. Now, if you have a stigma of going to the gym, don't let me scare you away. Put your headphones on. Matter of fact, I want to tell you from here on out in these courses, I'd like you to make sure you go get some headphones. If you don't have headphones, Get some headphones. Be passionate, care about yourself because you're worth it. Listen to the rest of these courses on headphones. There's a dialogue. This will start to train your brain in a brain frame perspective that you will not be able to get away from. You'll hear the tones of my voice and you'll start to focus in on the center of this. The synergy. The rhythmic pattern that I am delivering everything. Because it's a source of my soul. It's a source of knowing. It's a source of confidence that transcends confidence. Because I've watched people succeed. I've watched them have the things that you're here looking to see if you can have. You can have them today. You can have them today. They're yours. They've already been yours. The karmic value to you is incredible. We're going to increase the worth. The worth in you. I know you want to hold more. You want to see more. You want those vacations. You want those cruises. You want those beaches. You want that getaway. You want that extra house. You want that car. You want to pay the loans off. You just want to level everything out and minimize down and find you a little small spot and write a book. You want to contribute because that's the kind of people I work with. That's the only kind of people that stick around. And if you're still around, you have one of the greatest resources that you're ever going to find in the market. There's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. You have to go deep with me to get what you're fixing to get. What you've got so far is you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. There's nothing in this world that gains anything but value when you show up. When you came and got this course, my course got more incredible. You became a part of a family. My family grew. I'm excited now and I keep showing up because I need to know you. I need to show you. I need you to advance in your own greatness, to see what you have to offer. Every day you become something incredible. Every day you become a new unwrapped present. And I can't wait to see what happens because daily you're going to see this mental manual. This mental manual that I've been talking about, what it is. It's what we've learned. It's what we've learned from the beginning. It's what we've learned. And our memories have just clouded. Our brain is magnificent. Our brain is incredible. Our brain can process so much so fast that we get dulled out and we are just numb going through life. When you can control your mind the way I do, when you can focus and you can get that harmony, that balance, that trajectory of just seismic positivity, just coursing, thinking there's a better way, there's a better way. I'm not afraid to lose because if I lose, there's a big gain coming. If I lose, there's something amazing fixing to happen. Let me lose. I'm born to lose. I want to lose. If I'm losing, I know I'm fixing to gain. Nothing happens, but I don't lose the same way every time because when you make the same choices over and over and you think they're mistakes, they're not mistakes. They're choices, and choices have consequences. And I remember I told you, and I know you can relate. Consequences can't be passed down. Life isn't a job. You do not get to share consequences. They're yours. And admittedly, if you do not own them, if you do not share them with the universe, that you acknowledge them by acting different, by embracing a different lifestyle, a different source of bringing in more knowledge, bringing in more inspiration in your life, you're gone. You're gone. Karma will keep knocking on your door, but there won't be nobody there when you knock on it. You'll be meeting empty people, empty cartridges, empty saddles, empty doors, empty buildings, empty rooms, feeling alone, feeling overwhelmingly hopeless. And when you feel hopeless and you feel scared, you're not dreaming. And if you're not dreaming, you're damn sure not free. You're free today because you're worth so much. You're worth so much. Your story can change everybody's life. There's something in you that I need. And I need it because you're going to be able to learn and do things and fail at things. I don't have the time to because I'm busy learning and failing at my speed at the things I believe in. And when we connect, you and I get to learn so much from you. Every day I want to drink from what you learn. You have been designed to refine every process that you're in. Everything you went through is ready to burst. It's ready to shine. It's ready to just pour out of you and change the life of somebody. Change the life of you. Change the life of the future. Because that's how valuable you are. That's how amazing you become. when you believe in yourself, when you know I can do anything, I can walk through the fire. It's just the heat signature that I get, proving that I can go further and farther than anybody could ever have faith in me. I believe in me. I believe in you. You're amazing. You got to start writing down some things for me now. You got to start getting in your life where the electricity happens between the pencil and the paper. You got to start being expressive. You've got to start speaking out. You've got to start saying how you feel. You don't need correction. You need concentration and commitment to saying what you feel. Who cares what other people say? If they say anything, those are the people that admire the trier in you that they're not being. And they're going to debate with you because guess what? They debate in their minds with themselves. And the only habitat and pattern they're bringing to you is the pattern that they create. So however someone comes at you, no, that's exactly what they're doing in here. That's exactly how this is coming out. How they debate is how they relate to themselves. How they relate to themselves is how they're treating you in that moment. If they're treating you disrespectful and poorly, and they're trying to trick you, and they're lying to you, and you're catching yourself, asking yourself, trying to... If the facts don't match, the facts don't match. And if someone can't slow it down because they recognize you don't see it, and instead when they recognize you don't see it, they go faster, back up. Back up. Don't challenge it. It's a spring-loaded trap. It's a pattern. Patterns, simply in short, they don't lie. And I'm a pattern specialist. That's why working with me one-on-one is one of the greatest things you'll ever do. Because you'll learn the techniques of a pattern symphony going on around you. You'll be able to read people like a book, and a short book with little letters, little words, things that are just really incredibly simple to digest but delicious. And you won't get frustrated. You won't blame people anymore. You'll see these patterns and they will become like a game. It's fun because you don't become offended anymore. You don't become upset. You don't become self-righteous. You don't need to pinpoint the problems. You're able to see them and accept that it's the most amazing thing. It's the most amazing thing in the world. But I'm going to leave that for another video. I'm going to leave that for something for those of you that are ready to go deep. Some of those that are ready to get and talk to some of the consultants that are ready to talk to you to change your life. Some of the people, the people that are here are just, I can't say enough about them. I can't say enough. So this is lesson 2. And you're worthy. You're here. You are blessed up and you are not messed up. You are ready to go further. Now the next is going to be amazing. You're going to see some of the most incredible value-filled content that's inside of you. How it flows, how it works, how you manage it. You stay focused. Get up in the morning ready to lose. Get rid of your alarm clock. That's something you could do. You don't need the snooze button. Snooze, we're going to lose. Stay with me, guy. I've got you. If you're here, you're in good hands.